Hello, YouTube. It's me. I'm back. This is Shindy. Alright, so we're going to do our follow-up video with structuring Destiny. How we can structure the game to increase player count, increase revenue, that sort of thing. Forgive me if I'm talking a little soft here. I don't want to be too loud. So we're going to just get right into it. So let me just shift gears here. So, alright. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we'll tackle crafting weapons first, right? So, as you know, hold on. As you know, crafted weapons are sort of in a weird spot right now, right? They can't get tier 5, and we need to fix that because this is a huge part of the replayability of Destiny 2 right now, or at least it was back in, pre-Edge of Fate. So how can we fix this? So let's just get right into that first. First thing, okay. Please, Bungie, make it so that these levels only go up to 100. There's no point in us just infinitely leveling these weapons. And also, by doing this, what I want you to do is to create milestones. Level 50, level 75, level 100. There's your tier 5. Level 50, you unlock tier 3. Level 75, you unlock tier 4, which gets you those upgrades, right? Then you go tier 5 and then get the final upgrade. There you go. Done. But you have to earn it, right? You have to not only get your level ups. This is where I would say that those old, do I still have any of those? Depreciated, right here, these unstable cores would have made sense, right? Just don't make them, entirely expensive, right? The problem before was that you made everything very expensive, and that's what players didn't like. But this unstable cores could have been used for that as like a upgrade material or something. So all right, there we go. We fixed crafted weapons. Now my solution to fixing Destiny is actually you're gonna love this, and I'm about to bring up something that no Destiny player has talked about in a while. Remember back in Destiny 1 when public events dropped Ascendant shards? I remember that. It was fucking awesome. It was one of the best times in Destiny because there were like 8 to 10 players in public event areas, and they were like, just farming them, and it was great. Remember the Taken Court? People were farming those bosses. Dude. Here, so here's what you're gonna do. All right, just wild idea, but trust me, you do this, you bring back that social aspect of Destiny that everybody likes. All right, so here, let's just go to, we'll just go to the world, and then we're gonna go down to the Cosmodrome here. Okay. So here's what you're gonna do. You're going to structure your gear in such a way that it allows us to. So what you're doing is you're going to assign gear to a planet, right? And you sort of already done this with Beyond Light with that cryo armor and those weapons, those red weapons, right? And you also did that, and I believe Witch Queen, I think. Oh no, those the moon weapons and the moon armor, right? Well, do that for the Cosmodrome here. Take some city-based weapons, right? Some old city-based favorites. We'll just go in here. We'll say my Matador here. All right, we're gonna take my Matador, and then we're gonna grab my Noble Constant armor here, right? We're just gonna put this on real quick just to illustrate this. And okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the armor, you're gonna put it tier 5. You're gonna take this armor right here, tier 5 it, put it in the public events, right? No, just the public events. All right, and then they can also drop other things. And then you're going to take the weapons and you're going to put those in patrols and lost sectors, right? Now, this will be great because then you can even add a mythic difficulty. Like say tier 5 you can only get with mythic difficulty, right? And so instead of a heroic tier for public events, there's also a mythic tier or something. It's just an idea, right? And you can farm your specific armor piece for that planet on the public event that on whatever planet you're on. So say I wanted to get, farm this set of armor in tier 5, and then I wanted to at the same time I'm running patrols, and you can put the weapons in patrols. They can just randomly drop, or you can assign certain weapons to certain types of patrols. So I can like farm a god roll matador. I'm just using this as an example, right? And then I guess we'll just throw the scholar in there for safekeeping, right? You could just get these city-based weapons or something from these public events or lost sectors. Then you can also take some of the crafted weapons, and you can rotate them through each lost sector here. Like let's see, we'll go back to Cosmodrome. So like you have all these different lost sectors here, and you can like go over them, see how the or was it was just here. Hold on. Oh, I guess it's gone. Okay, so like the lost sector icon here, right? You have the other one up here. Where's the other one? There's another one way the frick down here, right? You literally assign crafted weapons to them. Let's actually elaborate on this plan, because the best place to talk about this is the Dreaming City. We've had three seasons with the Queen. You have 3 armor sets and a handful of weapons. You can literally take all those Queen's weapons to put all of the armors in the public events. There's one going on right now, right? And you can get a specific armor from, or you can go to Petra, right? And you can get Petra's, I don't know, like an armor bounty, right? And you can then assign those weapons to one planet. All the Queen's weapons will come from this one planet. The crafted weapons from Season of the Wish, and and then as well as the ones that are already there. There's already the raid weapons. There's already the weapons from the Blind Well, right? You have all those armors from there, and all those weapons like the shotgun everybody likes, and stuff like that, right? And you can even put some of that gear in the Blind Well. See what I'm doing here? I think Petra's down here. Yeah, Petra moves, right? Maybe every time she moves, you get a new set of like weapons and armor, or not new, but the old weapons and armor from the old seasons. You can get the old ornaments, you can get the old stuff. Bungie, you have an opportunity to sell us some old content that we missed out on, and players will farm that. Like for example, collections. I'm just going to show you an example of a weapon that I would really like to see come back to Destiny. It is the shotgun, and it is called, give me a sec here, just give me a sec, bear with me, alright, bear with me. What's it called? Well, there's the super cluster, obviously, but the one I'm talking about is you have the Dusk Rock Blues. You could put this in the Tangled Shore. You can bring the Tangled Shore back and put these weapons in those lost sectors, right? But the shotgun I'm looking for is there it is. The Fractilis. This is my favorite shotgun. I would love to go to Petra and just pick this up. Or pick up a weapon bounty for it. And just go do it. Right? Or maybe it's in a lost sector. Like today, the lost sector is the Fractilis. You see what I'm saying? You have dozens of Queen's weapons and armor that you can string throughout just this one planet. Just the one planet of the Dreaming City. Right? You have all this content in here. All of it. There's a lot of content in here. There's a lot of secrets to do. This will get, and then not to mention the armor, right? People want to get their armors, they want to get their weapons. They want to do those patrols and farm their weapons while they're waiting for a public event to spawn, right? There's this social aspect that makes it fun. And then you can add secrets and fun little puzzles and events when players are waiting for the public event to spawn. You see what I'm doing here? Like it works. The moon. There's a lot of shit here to do in the moon. You could literally make Petra's lectern weapons tier 5 and then bring them back. And then tier 5 the armor. Now this whole planet becomes relevant. You can add old weapons, right, from the moon season. When Shadowkeep came out, there were some cool weapons that came out. You can add those to the patrols and the public events, right? Utilize your your open world content more is what I'm trying to say. There can even be secret, like there's secret chests that you can get throughout the moon that have like gear in them. Well, why not just put lectern weapons in there? Why not put lectern items in there that can, I don't know, force a certain role that you want? Like players don't mind grinding for stuff like that. They just want to know that the role that they're looking for is more likely to be obtained. See what I'm saying? So, I hope you guys find a better solution to this, right? It's not that difficult to, like, you need to make this old content relevant, because the reason why you want to do this is because you want the game to take care of itself. RuneScape does an amazing job of this. The game doesn't have to update its content. It literally, its content loops. That's the thing that Destiny had before you sunset everything. The content loops were really great. They were fantastic, right? Even if it wasn't perfect, it was good. All right? Bungie, you need to reissue a lot of this stuff. And this won't take you long. This is literally just loot table manipulation. Is all you have to do. Just tier 5 everything and you're done. So I would strongly suggest that you really try and just bring a lot of this stuff back, and then structure the game in a way that keeps us busy, right? If you do this, a lot of players will come back. They will. I mean, even your raids are irrelevant now, because nobody wants to run them, because what's the point of getting crafted weapons? I mean, I still haven't gotten my Garden of Salvation weapons, and I want to run that raid. I love that raid. It's a great raid. And I think you just need to do it. You need to pull the plug, right? You need to pull the ripcord, as those WoW players like to say. Anyway, that being said, so that's my structure in Destiny for that part, right? And you can do other things too. Like, think about it. If you start doing this in Destiny, then you can start messing around with little lore things. Maybe you are around in the Cosmodrome and you're doing a farm for some items. And then all of a sudden you start noticing a beacon just sitting there out in the middle of nowhere. And then you pick it up. I don't know. It doesn't seem important. It even says discard. But you hold on to it. And then you hear another beacon somewhere else. Then you pick that one up. And then you think, wait a second. What are these for? And then there's like these hidden dialogues and this hidden story in it. Maybe there's unique dregs, like was it Randall the Vandal, right? Maybe there's like a mini little story event you can add to the public spaces. Like, you could have a standoff between Fallen and you can watch it from afar, and they're like interacting with each other. You can choose to engage in them or not, but you can get some lore about Fallen or something. I'm just spitballing here, right? It's things like that that get players really invested in the open world, because that's what you should be doing. Don't just focus on the portal stuff, right? Don't focus on just this stuff, right? Focus on the open world events, because that's what's going to get players wanting to explore. Destiny has some amazing zones. You have some amazing areas that we like to go into and explore. Utilize that more, all right? Now, finally, I want to talk about some solutions to the RNG grind with random perks. This is something I wanted to bring up. There's something in Destiny that you haven't utilized yet, and you actually solved this problem once already. So, as you know, a big problem in Destiny right now is the random rolls. People like them, people hate them, but there's a reason why people went after the adepts of the raid. The reason they went after these weapons was mainly because, well, you can go to the relic and re-roll the barrel and magazine perks. Why is this important? Because it removes a layer of RNG. That's why players loved farming this shit, because they only had to worry about 2 perks, the 2 middle perks, and the masterwork. So here's my idea. This fucker here. It was a mistake getting rid of weapon parts. I'm telling you, it was. And here's why. Why not let us buy our scopes from this vendor, or buy our barrels or our magazines and our stocks, like every other game does? Battlefield, Call of Duty, Division. They all let you customize your weapon. You have to get the weapon, and then you can customize it however you want. Why aren't you guys doing this? I don't understand. Like, you could literally make the weapon part the grind. People don't mind grind, right? They don't mind grind so long as they know the thing that they're going to get. It's called determinism, right? Deterministic grind. That's why crafted weapons was so successful, right? So I would highly recommend you guys start thinking about doing what you did with our time lost weapons here, right? I can go back to the whatchamacallit place and just re-roll these 2 barrel perks. And then I can get something that I actually want, stats that I actually care about. Why not be able to re-roll the masterwork? Why not? Remember, now people might say, well, Shindy, they do this because they need to artificially increase playtime. Right, but then that triggers the over-justification effect, right? If you keep grinding for something you're not getting, you'll give up. Dado famously said, why should I grind for this weapon that I know I'm never going to get, right? So just reducing some of these perk RNG and just focusing on the middle perks, that solves the problem, right? And then you have to grind for, like, if say I want a different scope on my gun, say I want a long range scope, and that gets into build crafting. You have long range scopes in Destiny, right? Well, why not make it so that hipfire is more accurate, right? Maybe you can build a hipfire build for this scout rifle and then put a long range scope. So, because the problem with scout rifles is that they're supposed to be long range weapons, but they suck at close range. This is why people use the dead man's tail all the time, because really skilled players, and I've seen this in PvP, I've seen people with dead man's tail kill someone who's shotgun rushing them just with hipfire shots. I used to watch PvP streamers do this all the time. I used to see Grenader Jake do this. He would just have dead man's tail and he would just hipfire somebody point blank range, all headshots. That's a build, right? That's exotic. What if I could build into that? Put a long range scope so I could pick people off from long range, and then have some short range capability to where I can at least effectively duel somebody at close range. That's called build crafting, right? Now you might say that that's too good, but I'm just saying, right? I'm just throwing out ideas here. People want scopes, and not to mention scopes can just be cosmetic too. They don't even have to have stats, right? Scopes was actually one of my favorite things in Destiny 2 at the beginning with the black armory weapons, and I really miss them. I'm telling you, Bungie, I miss the black armory weapons so much. You have no idea. But anyway, this is just something I wanted to run by you guys. I hope this is just one thing that'll get players wanting to play again, right? Remember, as long as we have something to grind, the game takes care of itself. You don't have to make new. I'm not saying you shouldn't make new content. Obviously, it's a new game or it's a live service game, but the old content should keep us busy, right? Keep us preoccupied. That's what you need, right? Otherwise, people are going to start doom posting and things are going to get out of hand, and you don't need that right now. All right? I'm looking forward to Renegades, but please, some of these changes I'm saying are easy fixes. You can get these going in a couple of weeks. All right? Getting the crafted weapons to tier 5, start. You don't even have to do it for all the planets. You could literally just beta test this whole thing on the Dreaming City, or even the Moon. Like just reissue the Eris's weapons. Don't change anything. What this does is it makes the Shadowkeep expansion relevant, makes this content relevant. Tier 5 the armor, and then and people love running Altars of Sorrow. Don't forget about that. Altars of Sorrow is one of their favorite things to do. Pit of Heresy, etc. All those weapons, make all those relevant again. And then bring in some old season, I forget which season Shadowkeep came out, but bring in those weapons, some of those old weapons, and just put them in the public events, put them in the lost sectors, put them in the patrols, right? Get creative, and we'll eat it up. I'm not joking. All the streamers will agree with me on this. Everybody will. So, that being said, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. And let me know what you think down below. And I hope you all have a blessed and awesome day. Bye.